Hello everybody, and welcome to week 3 of our January Pantry Challenge report. I think it's getting tougher to come up with ideas maybe, and some things are running low from our stores. We've learned some lessons this week, and we also had fun making 2 special recipes. One, I'd like you to see our story about the background for the chicken and dumplings, and then also the goulash recipe was something that my mother used to make. So we'll show you a few of the things that we cooked this week and how it went. Our grocery store run this week came in right at $20. We finally used up all the milk that we had in store, so we had to buy milk. Paper plates were running low. Honey buns, wow, we found out the ones we had were very old and stale. Kombucha, Kevin's into bagels and cream cheese in the morning. I picked up some bacon bits for use during the week, and wow, that took up all of our money. The rest of it we'll have to pull from the stores. This Hungry Jack hash brown freeze-dried or dehydrated package is something that we keep in our food stores, and I have found them to be so handy. I have bought them at Walmart and at the Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree, they run $1.25 in our area, about the same price at Walmart, but they're in like an old style school milk carton kind of a format. And with one hand, if you can open this up, you can see inside they're just dry little shreds, and then you add hot water to it. Just to cover it up and give it some liquid to absorb, and then I usually just close it up and let it rehydrate here for less than 5 minutes. But anyway, that's what we like to buy, and I use it for breakfast, or if we're having breakfast for supper, and have that with the little smoky sausages and eggs. They show it with bacon and eggs, I guess, on here. But right now, I'm getting ready to make this for lunch to serve with some brats. Speaking of brats, we are spoiled because we got used to having buttered buns for our food. A few years ago, one of the church chefs made buttered buns for the hot dogs at church, and now we like ours that way too. So while the hash browns are absorbing that liquid, I'm going to use my electric skillet, get these hot dog buns all buttered and browned and yummy. It has been less than 5 minutes, and these shreds of potato are all nice and soft now. You can tell the steam's still coming off it, so it hasn't even cooled down. But I'm going to drain the water, the excess water off, and get these started cooking. This is going to be very good. Note to self, always remember to drain the water, the excess water, because I have failed to do that before, and it makes a very gooey hash brown. I added a little bit of oil to my pan. It's always hard for me to just guesstimate, but anyway, this is heating up, and hopefully there will be a nice sizzle when I pour this stuff out here. Ah, yeah, there's a good sizzle. With every little bit. The package says it's 5 servings. Usually, if we're having this for sort of a main dish, I would say it makes 3 servings the way we eat it, but anyway, doesn't take long to cook, and I think it's a very tasty product that can be shelf stable. Oh, one thing is we've discussed that some things as far as expiration dates are just sort of recommendations, but I have noted that when I ate or tried to cook some of these packages that were a good bit beyond their expiration date, they do not smell good, and I think that I ended up just tossing that out because it wasn't going to make a tasty product. So something that you probably do need to recycle through your food stores more carefully than a canned good or something like that. Well, this is how I like my shredded hash browns, with a little bit of caramelization, they call that. That's a fancy name. A little bit of browning on them. So I'm going to pull these out and finish cooking the brats. And here's the finished product from our shredded hash browns from our food stores and our cooked brats on the buttered hot dog buns. One of the things that we found in going through our stockpile, I suppose you could say, of food is these bags of tomatoes that we harvested last summer. We had tomato plants last summer that just went bonkers. They were volunteer plants out at the edge of where our pig pen used to be, and we would go out every day and gather handfuls and handfuls of tomatoes, way more than we could eat at the time. These are more of a cherry, or what's the other word that they call these? Husky tomato? Alright, he's too shy to say it out loud, I guess. But anyway, so what I was told you could do is to put these in the freezer, and after you freeze them, then the skins are supposed to peel off very easily, and you can use them almost like fresh, or you can can them, something like that. Takes the pressure off of trying to get those skins off before you put them in the freezer when they're still stuck real well. So I'm noticing that this one that I had in my hand, it had a crack in the peel, and it's just coming off easy as can be. This one also had a crack, and see, that's just pulling right off of these tomatoes. So I'm planning, instead of using a can of tomatoes for our goulash tonight, then I'm just going to use these. And to be honest, if I lose a little bit of meat when I pull this skin off, it's not going to hurt my feelings because there are so many of these. Another thing that I noticed was when I just tasted one of them, they taste just like they were pulled off the vine. They are so fresh tasting, as opposed to if I had canned them last summer in the heat of the summer and all that kind of stuff when you don't really care to can. Yeah, these things, they taste so fresh and so strongly tomatoey, which was what we found when we were eating them fresh. They were just irresistible. We were popping them, well, I won't speak for Kevin, but I definitely was popping them in like candy. So I'm going to use these tonight in our goulash and get them out of the freezer, which will make Kevin very happy, and because he's always wanting us to free up some freezer space, and we will have a very tasty meal using something out of our farm and something out of our stockpile. Growing up, these are the ingredients that my mom used for what she called goulash. It's not a traditional goulash, but it was a mixture of a lot of good stuff. So we started with some onions and some ground beef and a cup of elbow noodles, our tomatoes from the farm, some frozen sweet peas, and a can of cream of mushroom soup that found its way into most of my mom's casserole recipes. Well, here's what you've been waiting for, the recipe for the guaranteed delicious chicken and dumplings that I learned from Kevin's mother. Now, when we were first married, we would drop off a whole chicken to his mom in the morning. She would work her wonders during the day, and after I got off work at 5 p.m., we picked up the pot of chicken and dumplings. Since she has gone on to be with Jesus in heaven, we've made dumplings on our own, a couple of different ways with store-bought dumpling products, but I don't have any of those in the freezer right now. So today I followed some recipes from the internet, made up my own dumpling dough. We boiled some chicken to make the broth, pulled the chicken off the bones. Then we rolled out the dumplings as thin as I could, cut them up into little pieces, and tossed them in the boiling pot of broth. Here's a picture of the finished product. They turned out quite tasty. I thought they were a little bit too thick for what she used to make, so in the future I will even roll them out thinner, maybe put less baking powder in the mix, but we did it, and we used our stuff from our stores and stockpile. So I can summarize to say that this week we ate well again. We were blessed. We had our goulash, our chicken and dumplings, our hash browns with the brats, barbecue pork sandwiches, leftover chicken with parmesan, and I can't remember the other items right now, but we did eat very well this week. A few things that we learned this week. One is to watch the expiration dates on crackers and baked goods. I'll hope that in the future we can keep more fresh veggies on hand, and a salad can brighten up a casserole meal with our goulash that came in handy. Thanks for joining us today on Hideaway Homestead for week 3 of our Pantry Challenge report. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, give us some comments, give us a thumbs up, and we look forward to talking with you very soon.